Hello and welcome to episode 3 of I Want to Run Eastenders. So it's supposed to have been a massive week in the Dominic Treadwell Collins era. This was the week where Alfie torched his house for the contents insurance. What did I see? It was more storytelling with no consequences. Storytelling, as I call it, with zero consequences. I thought Shane Richards' performance was brilliant. I thought the effects were brilliant, but I found the actual story forced, very forced. It didn't hit home for me at all. We were led to believe before the actual story was aired that Kat was going to have some horrendous burns, and we've seen some cuts and bruises and first degree burns, but we haven't seen anything hideous. We haven't seen anything life changing. And of course, what they can do is say, well, it's on the body. We can't see what's underneath her clothes. So they were talking about this being a life changing experience for Kat. Of course, being in a fire in your own home would be. But let's tear this up piece by piece. First of all, it took her ages to work out the place was burning down. I tell you what, if you're in a burning building upstairs, you're going to smell the smoke. It's as simple as that. Second of all, Tosh. Tosh in 5 minutes has worked out that Alfie burnt the house on purpose. This is a woman who can't even work out that her own partner doesn't want to have a baby with her. But all of a sudden, she's Inspector Clouseau. Not having it. It's just proved to me what Dominic Treadwell Collins is all about. And basically, it reaffirms that I have to stand up and be counted and save Eastenders. It's part of our British heritage, as I've said before, and this is just outrageous now, and I'm feeling the anger, I'm feeling the passion. I'm going to keep on doing these videos because I'm feeling the momentum now. I want to thank every one of the 15 people who watched the video. Yeah, as I said last time, 15 people don't sound like a lot, but to me it's a lot, and I appreciate every one of those views, and I would love some feedback as well. My vision, and the reason I'm doing this, is because I've got this great, awesome vision for EastEnders, and that's Chrissy Watts, aka Tracy Ann Oberman, returning as Chrissy Watts as this big crime boss. She's been in jail, she's formed this big crime syndicate. She will be front and centre of what I'm trying to do with EastEnders, without question. I've already spoke about introducing James Wilmot Brown's son, Aaron Wilmot Brown, as another mob boss who will be battling it out with Chrissy. And one of the big things I want to talk about is that I will definitely be not just keeping in Albert Square. We'll be moving along the whole of Walford and introducing characters that don't necessarily live on the square. The show's called EastEnders after all, so you don't have to be pigeonholed in Albert Square. That worked. I think it works less so now. Obviously, Albert Square is a great setting for those stories. One of the things I do want to do, when EastEnders first started, all the buildings looked gritty and run down, and now the square it looks a lot more glamorous than it used to. The Queen Vic has got these bright red paintings, bright red paint, and it looks all nice, but the Vic, buildings in the square shouldn't look nice. They should look run down. They should look lived in. That was the great aspect of the show, wasn't it? You wouldn't live in Albert Square if you had money. You wouldn't live in Albert Square if you're wealthy. If there were times when Ian Biddle was making lots of money, he would have moved away. He wouldn't have stayed in Albert Square. So I don't want to see wealthy business people. Now, wealthy gangsters is something different. They have control of an area. So they are going to stay there because they want to keep control of that. That's a different thing, and that works. Now, with the Chrissy Watts character, I want to strip her down to the bare bones, and I think what's great, I've really been working on a backstory for Chrissy, and I think before, Harwood didn't really have a great backstory for Chrissy. We knew that she lived in Spain with Den, but we didn't know much more about her. I will introduce her brother, I will introduce her father, we will find out what her original name was. I've already told you that it's going to be Webb, daughter of the notorious criminal Jimmy Webb. More on that another time, but yeah, so I am going to flesh her out. And the EastEnders that I envision is, I remember EastEnders, the characters never used to be very nice to each other. Now everyone's quite nice to each other, aren't they? The major problem with Eastenders, again, as I said before, but I have to repeat myself, is their characters have got no personality. You don't really care about them. Even Phil, that's been such a successful character for the show over the years, they've taken away the geezer's soul. I said last week as well that I am going to devise a concept for Phil to be paralysed. He will be shot in the spine when this big battle between the Watts gang and the Walmart Brown gang kicks off, with all these guns shooting out bullets and everything, and he will be permanently paralysed. That's something I'm definitely going to do. I think with this kind of crime civil war going on in between all these soapy type stories, still we're going to have this massive story of these criminal gangs battling each other, and that's really interesting to me. That really is, and I think that will take EastEnders to a brand new level, rather than staying with what we're doing now, which is plodding along. EastEnders is plodding along, and it's not plodding along very nicely. If you watch all the soaps, because all the other soaps are kind of on before EastEnders, on a Monday night you've got Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, Coronation Street, then it's EastEnders. You just compare the other soaps. Whatever, even if you're a biased, obsessed EastEnders fan, you must admit that the quality of the other soaps is a lot higher than what EastEnders is currently. We all had high hopes with Dominic Treadwell Collins. We all did. We all thought, I didn't know who the bloke was. I found out that he worked in the Deirdre Sands era, which is probably the best era in the past decade. I thought, yes, this guy's going to mean business. And he made the speech about EastEnders shouldn't be a comfy bath. And I got excited. But unfortunately, it was all whitewash. It was all talk. And as I said before, all we are getting is storytelling with zero consequences. Someone gets burnt in a fire, a few weeks' time they'll be all right. Someone gets raped, in a few weeks they'll be all right. We're just got like pump the story up beforehand in the PR department and say, oh yeah, this is a groundbreaking story. Rape isn't groundbreaking anymore. I still say has to be shined, a light shined on it and all that, but only if it's done properly. If you're going to do a rape story just to whiz past it, it's not worth it. I've also discussed doing a gay couple domestic violence story. I've been talking about bringing Christian back with an aggressive partner. That's still in my concept. When you're doing a concept for these type of things, you do tweak them. Obviously, this is not a concept that anyone's looking at the moment or anyone's interested in. No one's interested in me running EastEnders at this moment. That's where you come in. I've told you what I want to do, and I want to do so much more than that. My EastEnders will be gritty, it will be violent, it will be aggressive, but it will have people in it that you care about. And be honest, put your hands on your hearts. How many of the characters do you really care about now? My big decision will come when, if I ever got the job, would be really on Lauren. Lauren is an extremely popular character, but she's not really to me, she's a bore. To me, she's attractive and young and everybody loves her, but there's not much else to the character. Now, the alcoholism storyline was affected to a point, but again, now she's just kind of got over that very nicely and very quickly. And I think if you're an alcoholic and with the health problems that she's got as well, she has one drink, she could die. Now, I think you could do something exciting. Put more intensity in that storyline rather than just forgetting about it. I thought that was a good idea. If she drinks one more drink, she could actually die. What would be the consequences of that? She ended up in a coma for one drink. She's still an alcoholic. She still wants to drink, but but the alcoholism isn't even mentioned anymore. And I'm not an alcoholic. The only thing I've ever been addicted to are my cigarettes, and I've just started smoking again. Long story, but. Basically, I feel if you're going to do something like that, it's got to be there in the memory bank. It's got to be kept alive, because just saying, oh, she's a strong character, say she's dealt with that. No, you never finish with being an addict. You never finish with being an alcoholic. It's always with you for the rest of your life. I've done some research. I've known some people, so I know addictive personalities, and I've researched it. It's interesting. When you're writing stories, you do research things. And with the internet these days, it's really easy. So I think for the first 6 months to a year, I'll definitely be keeping the Lauren character, not because I particularly like her, but I think I could do some interesting stuff with her and make her a bit of a more interesting character, because no offence to Jacqueline Josser, but it isn't a character that appeals to me. Yes, I know it appeals to the young girls, and the guys all want to, give her one, but I think we need a lot more than that. So they're the things, and as I said, this is where you come in. Every one of you who watches this, if you like what I'm saying, if you agree with what I'm saying, if you like the fact that I'm going to introduce a character called Danny Watts, who is the illegitimate son of Dennis Watts, if you like that idea, if you like my idea of having EastEnders on from September to May and then bringing back El Dorado from June, July to August and bringing EastEnders back in September, if you like those ideas, if you like what I want to do with the show, I believe I can make this show the biggest show in the world. I will keep on repeating myself till more people watch, until the BBC hear of me. But that's up to you guys. You can do this. If you like what I'm saying, if you like my ideas, email the BBC, tell them about me. Tell them I'm on Twitter, that I'm EastEnders mad. Tell them that I'm on Facebook, I'm Mick Meanus on Facebook. Tell them about my Facebook page, I want to run EastEnders. I am serious about this. I want to give you a show you can be proud of. And it's with your feedback, I can chisel out my ideas with your feedback involved as well. So we actually get a show that we both want, rather than doing what the BBC are doing now and saying, oh, well, we can't please everyone. No, I believe you can. To little elements, you can get everyone involved, all different age groups, both genders involved. Lots of guys watch soaps as well as girls. We want everyone to watch this. We want the people who like, really hard kind of Grant Mitchell characters. We want people who love love stories, but good love stories that really get into your heart. We want to have a mixture here. And it all will begin with my concept of bringing back Chrissy Watts as his crime boss. So, if you like it, please, if you're on Twitter and you see this video, retweet it. If you like what I've got to say, make sure as many people know about me and what I'm about. Please, please, please. Thanks for watching the video. I really am so grateful for your continued support. We will talk again. I do want to run EastEnders. See ya.